Hello and welcome back to Manny Pacquiao versus Miguel Cotto 2. This is the break between round 6 and round 7, and that's Cotto's wife. We shall see what happens. Now, like I said in the first part, I thought Miguel Cotto should have used his jab a little bit more than trying to sit on the inside with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is too fast, too strong, too unpredictable for Miguel Cotto. I think Cotto should have used his jab for a couple rounds, like how Eric Morales did, but everything's easier said than done. When you're in there, maybe Manny Pacquiao is just too fast for Miguel Cotto to do anything. Someone in the first part of the fight study mentioned that Cotto just looked lost in the fight, so you never know what happens to fighters, especially going against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. But in my opinion, Cotto should have used his jab more in the beginning rounds. Look how heavy-handed it is. His jab worked well when he used it, but he didn't use it a lot. He would use it for the first 10-15 seconds, if I remember correctly. Then he would kind of sit on the inside. Manny Pacquiao is using his feints well. And this is what I wanted to mention, this is something that Manny Pacquiao... So basically the reason I did this study is to show how Manny Pacquiao progressed since like 2003 and 2005, since he fought Morales, Barrera, and Marquez. And I want you to watch the left foot of Manny Pacquiao where he's moving. Okay, he's keeping Cotto busy with his hands. Okay, Cotto respects Manny Pacquiao now. There's no doubt that his face tells a story of respect. So he's watching this. I don't think he's paying attention to his feet. I'll wait for the spar to go away now. Okay, so Manny Pacquiao stepping first with that left foot. And what's he trying to do? If you guessed line up that left hand, then you are correct. He's trying to line up that left in between the guard of Cotto. And he's just using his hands to feint and keep Cotto's eyes on his hands instead of his feet. Now here, DC. Okay, not there. He continues. I think it's right after this. Pacquiao continues to... There you go. Okay. He's trying to line up this left hand. We said before that Cotto has a tight guard. Holds it to the corners of his head. So the only thing open is in here and around here. But Pacquiao's trying to line up this left hand there. So I'm not going to rewind, but if you remember what just happened, Manny Pacquiao did a little circle. If that was in his earlier fights, Pacquiao wasn't doing that. Okay, in this fight, he actually used his footwork to circle around and position himself to land that lead left. And then I think he got a right hook in there. Yeah. So his positioning became a lot better. And you see how he worked those angles on Cotto? This is when Pacquiao became really dangerous. If you see his fights, the ones I referenced from before, 2003, 2005, his punches were coming from all angles, but his feet weren't. His feet were more straight ahead. Now, in this stage of his career, he started his footwork. He started working angles with his footwork and synchronizing it with his hands, which made him a monster. Let's see what happens here. So he throws that left hand, steps, and he steps over, and he continues the attack. Nice. He punched in a circle. That's great. He didn't really do much of that earlier in his career. I would have to watch... He had a lot of fights. I'd have to watch his fights from around, I'd guess, 2005-ish to around this time to really see when he started working and adding these stuff to his game plan, Manny Pacquiao. That was very nice. But other than that, this fight I really liked. Okay, right hook. Bang. Left uppercut. I also have to research which Cotto was this? Was this still in his when he was still good, or was this towards the end? I don't think he was washed by now. Does he have the stomach tattoos? I don't think he has a stomach tattoo, so he's still pretty good. Or he does he? I'm not sure. You see Pacquiao working the angle. Oh, I think he does have the stomach tattoos, yeah. Another right hook. Let's rewind this. What's your guys' thoughts on Kenny Bayless? I like him, but I don't know. I feel like there's better coaches, better referees than him. Okay, so Pacquiao goes in with that jab right in between the guard of Cotto. Left hand comes up short. Right hook misses. Left uppercut misses. Nice body shot by Cotto. And you see Cotto here again when he got dropped the first time, when he got dropped earlier when he was switching. He's southpaw right here and he's not in position to take a punch or to defend nicely. This is a combo that Manny Pacquiao used a lot, which was the jab to the head, left hand to the body, and then right hook, jab, body with the left, and then like that unorthodox punch that he threw, the power shot. It's not a jab like I mentioned before. See, this is his jabs, and then left, and this is the power shot. It's a little bit different than the jab, and it's like Marvin Hagler threw something similar. He was also a southpaw, of course. Now, for someone to come up from 108 pounds, I think Pacquiao was, and to do this to Miguel Cotto is, I don't know, I'll let you guys think of that. That was a nice job by Cotto. Letting Cotto work now. That's the thing with great fighters, they'll let the opponent work. Nice right hook. Nice jab by. See, when Cotto jabs, it does good. I'm not sure why he didn't jab as much. He does have the longer reach, I believe. See that jab again? So I'm really not sure why. And that's the thing. This is the punch that Morales actually got Pacquiao with a lot. He would jab right just like that, and then he would step over to the left and force Pacquiao to turn. And he would readjust. And Barrera did that a lot too. I haven't watched all of Pacquiao's fights, but if someone that's that's his dad, if someone is a huge Pacquiao fan, if they could tell me when do they think they started noticing that Pacquiao became more of a thinker fighter rather than just a fighter, I'd like to see that transition. I haven't noticed the... There's that iron. Ends well. Oh, that's a nice screen. That's pretty cool. Like I mentioned before, I'm not a huge fan of call them the tattooed canvases. I like a blank canvas. They could be edited on there. Instead of actually having them on there, just edit them on there on TV. because people in the crowd, I don't think they could read these. So the only time you can read them is if you're up in the, I don't know where, or if it's a camera angle. If they could start editing these on, and because they usually fighters slip on them. Sorry, I had to rewind that because I was talking about the canvas. Oh, that was a nice fake jab body shot. And like I mentioned, I think it was a few videos before, when I was boxing and when I was being taught, I was never taught these big steps. I was always taught small steps, which makes sense. You don't want to take big steps. But in the pros, if you study enough fights, you'll see when Pacquiao really wants to catch Cotto, like really land a nice shot. Watch his front foot. So that was a fake. So he gets closer. Okay, not that much of a big step, but fake. But you see where his foot is? His foot is behind the heel of Cotto. Now he's actually in position to land that shot. He does take some bigger steps against Marquez, I believe. I tried it in sparring, waiting for the right time to take that big step, and it definitely works very well. Because before I would take small steps and then people would run away sometimes. But if I take the small steps and time that big step when I had with a feint, it works very, very well. They can't really get away from my punch. Nice fake. Nice left hand. Pacquiao also added a lot of feints to his style. You know, the more harder you punch and the more dangerous you are, the more believable your feints are. So if you're one of those guys that has heavy hands or is really quick, stinging power, or people are afraid of them, I would feint all the time if I had that type of regardless, people see that. Look at that jab, beautiful jab. I don't know why he didn't jab that much. Regardless, people will respect your feints in a fight, because if you don't respect the feint, then you might get caught. So you have to respect the feint until you know that there's no way that the opponent can hurt you. Other than that, if you're powerful, you got speed, and people are scared of you, I would throw a lot of feints. It burns them out. Nice jab. I like that jab. This is similar. I think something happened earlier in this fight like this. Watch the right foot of Pacquiao. Tiny step. That's it. He's just inviting Cotto in. So if Cotto stepped in here, he might have came up short because Pacquiao's foot is in the way, or he might have stepped on it. That's beautiful right there. Sorry, I rewinded that like 6 times. Nice left hand, nice left hands. Remember, you see Cotto start running, like doing his little jog and moving. I don't know. Nice left hand, nice left hand. I'm not sure if he's trying to make Pacquiao commit something. He's just trying to take a break. Nice left hand by Pacquiao. Nice right hand. Unless you're setting up something for sure. Moving like this is good sometimes to clear your head, but not doing it too much in a round, because you will lose the round. If you're up in the fight and you move like that for a round, then there's no big deal. But if you're in Cotto's position and you move a lot, we'll see if he does it in the next round too. I wouldn't do it more than one round. But he is setting up Pacquiao with some nice shots. He's making Pacquiao commit. So it could be his last resort. But Cotto does that. In a lot of his fights, he does that hopping around, like bouncing around, moving. There's Fat Joe. Don't think he likes what he sees. But we're going to see Fat Joe again in the Edgar Berlanga versus Cotto. Versus, what's his name? Versus Canelo. I can't believe I forgot Canelo's name. I watched Edgar's last fight. He threw like 3 punches the whole first round. And what he did was very weird to me or not weird, but very beginnerish, is when his opponent would throw a hook, he would jump back, and he wouldn't step back, he would jump back. And when he did jump back, his back would be on the ropes. So if Canelo throws a hook or feints a hook and Edgar jumps back onto the ropes a few times, he does exactly what Canelo wants you to do, which is back up to the ropes. And he's been knocked down before. Canelo hasn't been knocked down. Sorry, I'll stop talking about that fight. We'll go back to this fight. But yeah, I think Canelo has that. See Pacquiao letting Cotto throw some punches. So we're going to see if Cotto keeps moving his feet like he did in the 8th round. Nice jab. See, I don't understand. If your jab is working, why would you only throw it twice around? Nice jab again. Okay, I guess 3 times. Cotto did the opposite of Morales did. Morales jabbed and was smart. He attacked sometimes. Okay, there he goes. He's doing the moving. But yeah, I feel like Cotto should have jabbed for at least the first 3 rounds. Tied Pacquiao up, but he's not that type of fighter to tie you up and stuff. He wants to fight too, so that might be his style is to fight. It's not really to jab and stick and move. Now he's just sitting on the ropes. I think the fight should have been stopped. Now Pacquiao's just swinging at will. Missed those shots though. I feel like if it's the 9th round and like it's in snooker, if you're past a certain number, a puncher's chance is always there, but if you're getting beat up, there's no reason to fight till the end. Look at Cotto's face. Jeez. Okay, he catches. See that? He catches Pacquiao. I know he just got hit like 5 times. This is the thing I'm talking about. I'm not sure why he didn't jab more. His face looks beat up though. And that's where styles make fights. Oh, that bounce. Oh, nice. I was talking bad about that bouncing, but it did him good actually. Maybe he was trying to make Pacquiao step in and then he would stop and punch randomly. That was a nice combination. Bouncing. And then stop. Bang. Bang. Move again. Or he didn't move. He stayed on the ropes. Now he's moving. That's bad. That's not good. He's just going from one rope to another rope. If you're gonna move, make it worth your while. Don't just go from one side of the ring to the other side. Just wasting energy. Of course, he's in there with Manny Pacquiao, so I think he wants to get away for as long as he can. Like that, he should have moved, danced around, and used his jab more like that. See, if Cotto did this in the beginning of the fight, it would have been a little bit more different. He fought too early on, and then he's trying to box too late in the fight. Doesn't work. Box early, fight later. Let me know in the comments what fight I should do next. I got some in mind, but whatever you guys want to watch. One fight that I actually want to do is Costa Tszyu versus Vince Phillips. Costa Tszyu has really nice hand positioning. His lead hand, he moves it very well. But I believe he did it. Vince Phillips was too tall, so his right hand would sneak in over that left. Fat Joe does not look happy. This is what Cotto did in the beginning of the fight, which was wrong. Not that, but just standing there like this without jabbing. Now he's actually jabbing. I'm not sure. Maybe he thought he was the bigger guy than Pacquiao. He thought he would just fight him. But Cotto does know how to box. I was surprised what he was doing in the beginning. See that? In the second half, he's having a lot better fight than he did in the beginning. But I'm guessing he thought he could just knock out Pacquiao or time him with a good I'm totally not sure. I'd have to think about it a little bit more. But he's moving good now, sticking the jab. Kenny Bayless getting in the way. I don't really like Kenny Bayless. I like him, but he's not my favorite. I like Smoger. I like that short guy. I forgot his name, damn it. See, that's what Cotto should have did more of. Move, stop, and punch. Move, stop, and punch. Attack. Use your feet. Pacquiao does have better footwork here. I want to go back to something. He does have better footwork than in his previous fights, but his footwork is an attacking footwork. It's not a moving around the ring footwork. Like, if you have good footwork, you could move around, and if you got good footwork and good power, you could outbox him. Okay, now this is something that if you watch my analysis or if I study Pacquiao versus Barrera, they would be in this exact position. Cotto would be Barrera. Barrera would step to the left, and Pacquiao would commit to a jab. Now watch what Pacquiao does. He misses the jab. He does not follow Cotto. So I kept saying in the Barrera fight, why doesn't Pacquiao step to his right? Here in the Barrera fight, Pacquiao would chase Barrera and then let him off the ropes. And you see what he does here? So against Barrera, after the jab, Pacquiao would throw a left hand and he would miss that also and then have to chase Barrera. Here he misses the jab and watch how he shuffles to his right and cuts off the ring. Okay. Way better. See that again? See how Pacquiao is here? Now against Barrera, he would throw the left hand and follow as Barrera moved outwards this way. But here, as soon as he misses that jab, he steps. Pacquiao, see? Steps to the right and cuts off this angle from Cotto. Let's see where they move next. See how he meets Cotto there? And now he has Cotto against the ropes. And Cotto escapes. Again, Pacquiao moves to his right rather than following Cotto. If you want to watch the Barrera fight to confirm this, you're more than welcome. Pacquiao would throw a jab, straight left, and then turn. And then Barrera would be out back here. Here Pacquiao misses, he comes back in the middle. Takes a shortcut to Cotto, doesn't follow him, he cuts off the ring. So maybe if this was the Pacquiao that fought Barrera, Cotto would have had a better chance with his footwork. But Pacquiao is cutting off the ring nice. And I think that's because his right hand was more developed in this fight by this time in his career. Earlier in his career, he didn't really use the right hand the way he did in this fight. It'd be more straight lefts. No, Cotto, I don't think he should have keep moving. Don't listen to him. Don't stay there. Pacquiao's too sharp for... Cotto's trying to catch him with something, but Pacquiao's too sharp, and he has a good chin. It's not a good mix. Keep moving if you're Cotto and make Pacquiao walk into something. But I see how Pacquiao's cutting off that ring. He didn't do this earlier in his career. He would follow a lot more earlier in his career because he only had that left hand. But now he believes in his right hook and his right hand a little bit more, or a lot more. And he is cutting off the ring nicely. Yeah, the fight should have been stopped. I'm not sure what they are doing. You're not going to knock him out, and you're not going to win on points. 2 rounds coming up. Don't let him come out for the last rounds. But you saw in the last 2 rounds, Cotto did well when he was moving, stop, punch, and move. But he tried to fight too early in the fight. I'm not sure if it was ego or bad game plan or what, but that's why in the first, like I said, the great fighters, Lennox Lewis, when I did the fight study on him, Leonard, Hearns, after 2 rounds, if something isn't working, they try to find the mistake and fix it right away. They don't keep making the mistake. They don't fix the mistake in round 10. That was like Maurice Hope versus Marlon Starling. Maurice Hope kept making the mistake and then eventually started fixing doing the right things in like round 10, and it's way too late. So if something isn't working early on, try to change it up, do something else, see if that works. If that doesn't work, then you're in a bad... You can't do anything, but try all the things that you can. See, look at that jab. Where was this in the beginning of the fight? Sometimes it's ego, sometimes it's just, I don't know. That I'm stronger than this guy, so I'm not going to use my boxing. Could be a lot of reasons, but Cotto should have definitely... Pacquiao isn't a graceful fighter. He's powerful. He at this point, he cuts off the ring. He's dangerous. But he's not a swift mover. So if you know how to move your feet good, and have a good jab, you could outbox him. You could give him a lot of problems. And Cotto has a good chin, so... Maybe you just figured it out too late in the fight. This reminds me of the Barrera fight. Cotto getting caught in the tornado of Pacquiao's punches. Pacquiao has no respect for Cotto now. No respect. He's like Rodney Dangerfield. But moving like this too late in the fight, you're just trying to survive and you're just trying to stay alive. Not really trying to win. The corner should have stopped it by now. Yeah, he's landing some punches, but the Pacquiao does not respect him anymore, his power. if you do this in the beginning of the fight and then settle down and start fighting, it looks like you're gaining confidence and you're going to end up fighting. But if you start fighting and then start moving, it looks bad because you're doing the opposite of what you should be doing if you were winning. That's something I used to have my hands low in the beginning of sparring or fighting, and then at the last round I'd have my hands up, and my coach said, no, that looks wrong to the judges. Start with your hands up, and then as the fight goes on, put your hands down. It looks like you're gaining confidence. But if you start with your hands down and then put your hands up as the fight goes on, it looks like you're getting hit a lot. Sorry, there's not much to break down about this fight anymore. He's running to survive. They should stop the fight. I don't know what they're... Cotto is a great fighter. I'm just not sure what he's doing. Or if Pacquiao was just that good. I don't like seeing fights when they get to this position. If it's that one-sided, just call it, man. Look at his face. Look at Pacquiao's face. Nothing on it. But I could see, if you watch my other fight breakdowns of Pacquiao's fights early on in his career and you watch this fight, you'll see the different improvements. I mentioned a lot of the improvements he made in the first... See, look how he's cutting off the ring in the first part of this fight. Pacquiao's even telling the ref just end the fight. Fighters are prideful though, but they don't want you to stop the fight. Sometimes the only thing you can say is that you went the whole 12 rounds. Yeah, that's good. The fight's over. Great fight by Manny Pacquiao. He didn't follow his opponent. He cut him off. He feinted more. His right hand developed very well. What else? He wasn't just a straight shooter. He made angles with his feet. He set up his left hand. He was patient. He let Cotto work at times and just saw what he had. Then he came back. He stopped and countered with the jab. Yeah, he did a lot of better things than what he did early in his career. Of course, his fierce power shot, speed, and tornado of punches were still there, which made him as the popular man that he is till this day. Great fight. I think it should have been stopped a few rounds earlier. There's no reason for Cotto to just keep taking punishment. On Cotto's side, I think he had the wrong game plan, or he just did the wrong thing, or Pacquiao was just too much for him. I think Cotto should have did what he did in the end of the fight in the beginning of the fight, and did what he did in the beginning of the fight in the end of the fight. So he should have jabbed and moved, stopped and go earlier in the fight, frustrated Pacquiao, made Pacquiao resort to the old Pacquiao, and then when he did that, Cotto could have started countering him and beating him. Maybe he had a better chance of doing that, because the old Pacquiao, he would have had no regard for you and he'd just come in. Here he's a little bit more thoughtful, but maybe if he felt like he was losing the fight, he would become desperate and go back to his old self. But yeah, good fight for the fans also, and thank you for watching. If you have another recommendation for what fight you want to see next, please let me know, and goodbye.